been a minute since we've talked to Alexander Gustafsson. He is coming off a very big win over Jan Blachowicz in Hamburg, Germany. That was last weekend, and wanted to catch up with him and see what he's thinking about the win. So now he's joining us on the phone. Alex, are you there?
I'm here.
How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Congratulations on the win. Okay, there's a lot to talk to you about. But first, just since we're talking all the CM Punk stuff, did you watch UFC 203?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
What did you think of the CM Punk fight? Were you, as a veteran of the sport, former title contender, were you bothered by it? Are you okay with it? Do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, I guess that he did what he could do that fight, and he ended up with a loss in that fight. But it's hard to say anything because he didn't see that much of the fight. So I don't know. It's one of those things. He can just get better and try to learn from it and get better.
Are you bothered? Like, if they brought him back for a second fight, would you be bothered by that? Because you have to work up the ranks, and all the people in the UFC go through. You go through different organizations. Do you think that it's bad, or do you understand what he brings to the table, pay-per-views, things like that?
Well, I'm not that. I don't know. I don't know that much about where his background and in what he did before in the wrestling part, but I think I don't think too much about it. I think he's just he's here now, and he's competing for the UFC, and I think give him another fight and let's see what he got.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so around 9 days after your win, what do you think of it? Have you watched the fight, and if so, how do you feel about your performance?
Yeah, I watched the fight right after actually the fight, and I'm not too pleased with my performance. A win is always a win, but it's I don't know if it was like if it's just I've been away for a time from the octagon. I don't know, but my timing in my striking just didn't really. I didn't have my timing really, and I couldn't really get my distance. Blachowicz is a really tough guy, and he's a really good striker. But I took one to give one, and that's not how I want to fight. I want to put a clinic in, but I didn't manage to really reach him. So I just took the fight to the ground and worked from the top.
Was he tougher than you expected him to be?
No, I knew he was tough, so it wasn't a surprise. It was just, I knew I had a better reach than him. I'm taller than him, and so I've been working on my striking. I lost for this fight, and my striking overall with knees, kicks, and everything. But I just couldn't get my distance in, and from that first couple of minutes in the first round, I just let's take it to the ground, and I really needed this win. I didn't want to take any risks at all, or anything like that. And then, Blachowicz, he's a tough guy, and he's been in the game for a very long time. So, he has he's very good in his technique. So I just knew that, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, and I just wanted to secure that win.
A guy you've trained with for several years, Dominic Cruz, loves to talk about how ring rust isn't a real thing, how it doesn't affect you. But, this was your first fight in 11 months. Do you think it affected you? Like, is everyone different? And maybe not for him, but for you, you just couldn't get comfortable out there?
Well, it's hard to say what it was. It was just one of those days I couldn't get my distance in at all. I connected some punches. He connected some punches too from a weird angle, and it was never a danger or anything like that. It was just, I don't like to fight. Give one to take one. That part of I don't want to fight a fight like that. I just want to put a good clinic in. I want the fight goes as I'm planning to have it. And I just felt that in the first couple of minutes in the first round that he just caught me with his weird weird punches from weird angles, and yeah, that was just it. And I just decided to work on top with my ground and pound and secure the win, basically. So ring rust, I don't know. It could be not. It's hard to say.
Did he seriously hurt you at any point in the fight?
No, not at all. No. It was all good. It was just like, he just caught me with some of those punches, and that was basically it. I was never in a danger on my feet.
In the days and hours before the fight, how was your confidence? Because you mentioned, you just wanted to get the win and didn't want to take many risks, and I could certainly understand that. The last time you won was against Jimmy Manuwa in March of 2014. Were you starting, were you feeling that pressure of the 2-fight losing streak and not winning in a long time? What were you thinking?
Yeah, well, a little bit maybe, because it's been a tough year for me. Everybody knows that. I got stopped here in Stockholm against Anthony Johnson, and then I had a split against DC. So it was pretty. I had some pressure on, and I just knew that however this fight goes, I have to win it no matter what. I don't care if I win on submission, knockout, or a decision. I just needed a win to start from scratch and start with something good, with a win so I just took it from there. So a little bit pressure maybe, been away for a couple of, for almost a year, everything combined maybe, it didn't, affected me a little bit, I think.
Yeah, in a weird way, even though you fought for the belt twice, I feel like there might have been more pressure on you going into this fight than in those title fights.
Yeah, maybe, because I've been away for so long and I had 2 losses, coming from 2 losses. So, and also, I just knew that, I needed this win, basically. Nothing else is accepted at all. I just, I need that flow, that good feeling of winning and getting that flow in. You feel good fighting. You feel that you're winning the rounds. It's a special feeling you're looking for, and I felt it in this last fight, and my confidence was there, and I felt calm under the whole fight. I could do this for like 10 rounds.
So is
conditioning was there, and my strength.
So it's safe to say you feel like you got your confidence back. You're back on track now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel confident. I feel like I'm back on track. It was a good fight with Blachowicz, but I'm at the gym training, and I just want to become like getting my business in and working on everything to become just better fighter and get ready for whatever it's next. I have to be prepared.
I remember you did.
I don't want to wait a year again.
Yeah. And we'll get to that in a second, but I remember that you did an interview with a Swedish outlet several months ago, and you said you were going to take some time off and that you were considering retiring, but then after you said you weren't really considering. Now, can you tell us the story? Like, did you actually consider retiring after the DC fight?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It was just one of those things when you lose, I don't even think I actually said retiring. I just, I came from a loss, a really close decision, close to a win. And, I was just pissed, because I basically, I just lost that fight. So I was really pissed. And maybe I said something about like, maybe I wanted to take a break or something like that. Never retired. And, you say something and something else come out,
right.
From media. So it is what it is, but I never considered retiring, and that it wouldn't happen because it's just one of those things you just say, you can't just say, because it's so much harder to really do it. This is what I do. This is what I'm good at. It's nothing that you just quit one day and then So I wasn't even close to retire.
There was a video that came out after of you guys in the hotel, and he was holding some beers and you were holding beers. It was just a beautiful thing, and kind of reminds us why we love this sport so much, the professionalism that you fighters show. What did you guys say to each other? And have you ever been, I know there's that famous picture of you and Jon at the hospital, but this one was a little different when both of you guys drink. Have you ever been in a situation where you just fought a guy and then you are drinking with him after?
Well, this was one of the first times I think. Like I said, Jon is a great guy. He's a very humble guy. A great sportsman, and he represents the sport very well. And we train a few times together, so we know each other a little bit. And right now I consider him as a friend. Because we talk after the fight, and we're probably gonna end up training a little bit together too. So.
Wow.
So it was a really amazing feeling to come to the hotel and he just welcomed me with a beer. So yeah, it was a great thing.
What did he say anything to you?
No, yeah, he just said it was a great fight and likewise and then we talked about training in the future and so I'm very excited to see what. If it comes down and we can train. This
is kind of a theme for you. Now the third time maybe that you fight a guy and then you train with him, right? Phil Davis, and then Jimmy Manoa, and now him. What is it?
Yeah.
Why does that keep happening?
Well, I don't know. It's just I guess it's kind of. Well, it's pretty normal because it's so close for us, to train with each other, and it's Sweden, England, and we have Poland. It's kind of small countries if you compare to US. So if we can play together and get something good from it, so why not?
Okay, so what about next? What are you thinking about for your next fight?
I don't have any type of I just waiting to see what they want, who they want me to fight, and when basically. So I'm ready to go whenever. I'm training right now, and no injuries, nothing. So I'm very excited to see what's next. Actually, I didn't heard anything yet or anything new, so I'm just waiting here and let's see what happens.
Do you have a preference?
No, not really. I just want to take one fight at a time. Let's see what happens now. I had a good fight with Jan Blachowicz, and now let's see what happens. I'm just waiting for that call, and then we'll take it from there.
I said afterwards that if Jon Jones can get through all his stuff, that I think you versus Jon doing the rematch now makes the most sense for both of you, especially for Jon, just because he's been through so much and it was such a great first fight and people would get really excited. Do you like that idea, or is it too soon to do that?
Well, I'm up for suggestions, so why not? Let's see what they say. I'm up for suggestions, so whatever they give me, I'm down for it. And second fight with Jones, who knows?
What do you think of the whole top of the division now with Cormier as champion, and it seems like him and Rumble want to fight each other, but Dana White is saying Rumble and Jon. What do you think about the whole situation at the top?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of mixed up right now, and I'm as much excited as you are. Actually, I don't know what's going on with the Jon thing and all that stuff. But I just one thing I know is DC is the champ, and let's see who's fighting next and who's the contender.
Would you be disappointed if Jon comes back and gets a title shot right away, or do you think he needs to work his way back up after everything that happened?
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair, like getting me like a title shot. I'm not saying I'm gonna get it. I'm just saying, like,
sure.
Everything that happened. It's not fair to other fighters too. They've been working their asses off and they've been fighting each other. So not a title shot, by the way. Just give him a fight first, and then let's see.
Yeah. Who would you pick in a fight between Cormier and Rumble rematch? You know both of them very well. Who would you pick? It's a hard question though, because I don't know if DC can survive one or two punches. They're probably going to get the win, but you have to take those shots too. Yeah, it's unbelievable, those shots. By the way, what was it like?
Yeah, they are.
Being in the locker room and you saw what happened to your teammate and friend Alysha Latifi, and then you have to go out and fight, right? Was that weird?
Well, you just need to be professional in that type of situations. You can't get emotions to take over. I was pissed because, I just saw that happen, and I got really pissed. But I just need to forget that and focus on my own thing, in my own fight, basically. And that was it. And I talked to Hiller right after, and it hurts. It hurts to lose that way, but I think maybe he broke his thumb or something. But other than that, he's fine.
Okay.
Physical, he's fine, but it hurts in the soul.
Right. Yeah, I always feel bad for the teammate who has to go on after seeing that happen to your friend and teammate. I'm sure it kind of messes with you for a second right before you walk out, right?
Yeah, no, I just saw that, and I just got pissed right away, But I just knew that I have to forget that and focus in on my own challenge, and it worked, But it's not fun to see your teammate lose like that. No.
So in a perfect world, do you want to fight again this year?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
And will you will you go back a little bit to San Diego and to Thailand? I know you went a little bit, or for now you're going to stick in Sweden?
For now, I'm going to stick in Sweden, but who knows? I'm probably going to go over for some training in Alliance too.
Okay.
If I get a fight, we're going to plan the camp and see. Depends where it is too. If it's in the US, it makes sense to come over and train.
Right.
And I miss those guys too. So
sure. Well, congratulations, Alex. Good to have you back. Good to have you back on track. And I know it was a very important one for you. So congratulations. Enjoy the victory, and looking forward to your next one. Thank you for coming on the show today. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Okay, there he is, the Mauler, Alexander Gustafsson. Big win for him. Back on track now at 205, and 205 can certainly use him. A shortage of talent and interesting names. Slowly but surely, some are coming up. I think of the likes of Misha Serkinov and Nikita Krylov. There are some names coming up, but it has been a bit slow at 205 these days. So having a familiar face and a draw like Alexander Gustafsson, in particular in Sweden, is definitely important for the UFC. Still ranked number 2 in that division, and he is coming off a big win over Jan Blachowicz of Poland. Nice scene, if you didn't see it on social media, of them celebrating together, kind of toasting each other with some beer in the hotel. Not so sure if it was celebrating per se, but you get the point. So kudos to him, congratulations, and curious to see what they do for him next. The Jon Jones situation might not work out. I'm told there's an October 10th Nevada Athletic Commission hearing, which could feature Jon Jones, Nate Diaz, and Conor McGregor because of the whole press conference thing, and Brock Lesnar. But until that happens, and until we know what kind of punishment he's going to get from the NAC and USADA, kind of crazy to even talk about what's next for Jon Jones.